What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the review of the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. Now, of course, I open these almost every day. I think day 13 and 14 were opened in the same day. I think it was day 14, just because I didn't feel like doing it. But every day, of course, I put out chronological, and of course, day 24, of course, is now up on my channel, which is R2-D2. You guys can go check that out. And also the Grinch Showcase, go check that out as well. And yeah, without further ado, let's talk about it. So, of course, I did this with the Harry Potter one, and I do this with every Advent Calendar. And thinking about it now, since I opened the Guardians of the Galaxy all in one day, and watching everybody else open each individual day, I'm just going to say flat out right now, the Star Wars one this year is much better than the Guardians. I think every single year, the Marvel ones, I mean, when you get them all together, like all the Marvel figures, all the Guardians figures, you're like, yeah, this is cool. But when you're opening every single day, it's very boring. And a lot of the builds in the Marvel Avengers Advent Calendar last year and the Guardians one this year really wasn't that good. So if you want to get my updated opinion on the Guardians, I really didn't think it aged that well. And the Star Wars did way better. Of course, you get some exclusive minifigures in this. You get C-3PO, R2-D2, and Vader. And there's some cool ideas in this, and then there are some that they should have continued with this whole Advent Calendar. Of course, the figures that you get, just going to do a brief kind of rundown. You get this clone commander, which is pretty cool. Never got him before. You get a battle droid, which is, it's a battle droid. You get them in every single Advent Calendar. Then we have Luke Skywalker right here. Not going to really take him off, but if we look at him, there he is. It's just a Hoth version of Luke Skywalker. Then we get a Snowtrooper, which is pretty cool. And for the exclusive characters, we get C-3PO, which is a very cool exclusive minifigure. Like that torso a lot. Then, of course, we get his companion R2-D2 with that nice dome piece that looks like a Christmas sweater. And then we get Vader, which is my first ever Vader. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of the builds in this, like the B-Wing, this thing right here, I despised. I even said it a lot, that I didn't like this B-Wing that much. It was one of the most forgettable days, just because it looked very incomplete, and there's like this big gap right here. I mean, if you won't do a good job building it, then I suggest you don't do it at all. However, the TIE Interceptor, which funny enough, both of these were from Return of the Jedi, is incredible. This is an amazing build. This was one of the hardest, I feel like, out of all of them. This was the hardest to build, just because the wings were very hard to look at. I mean, if you're building this, you know what I mean. But this is such a really cool build. I love like the sharp points and everything. It just looks really cool. And a lot of the builds, like the Sand Speeder and a lot of the other ones, are really cool. However, I feel like they should do this more often with Advent Calendars, and they haven't been doing it a lot. Create little scenes, like, of course we have Vader, which is the only sand thing in this whole Advent Calendar other than the Sand Speeder. But you have these little builds right here. Do these every day where you can make it look really kind of festive, because I bet you this is the only time LEGO ever does micro builds other than polybags, I think. But I think a lot of people aren't really looking forward to getting a miniature version of the Bad Batch shuttle or a miniature version of an AT, I forget what that is, but yeah. A lot of people are here basically for little builds and stuff. That's what I think Guardians did really well this year, is that they had a bunch of little tiny builds for like a turkey and stuff. And just like a bunch of little miniature builds are just kind of boring, because as you guys can see, it's really like weird. Like the turret, sure, include the turret and include some of the radar dish and this right here, the thing on Tatooine, include those in here. But it really doesn't make any sense, because it's like, really? Because you just get a bunch of little micro builds. But maybe I'm being too harsh. But overall, for an Advent Calendar, this is pretty good, I gotta say. This is a really good Advent Calendar. It's not the best Advent Calendar ever that I've ever opened. Never the best, I feel like. But it's pretty good. All right, it's pretty good. Of course, also the Gonk Droid is a pretty cool build as well. And just a lot of these are really festive and nice. The standouts, in my opinion, for this advent calendar are C-3PO and R2-D2. I feel like they haven't been maybe the main focus in an advent calendar since the first advent calendar I ever got, which I'm going to put a photo up on the screen right now. I think it was the 2014 or 2015 one. That was the first ever advent calendar I ever got. It was after the Santa Vader. I do remember that. But also Vader in this is kind of cool. But what I really want, and I know a lot of people would kind of maybe get some backlash on, is if they made one that isn't winter themed. Like Ashen Flash said in his video for the Star Wars Advent Calendar, that you could make a lot of these, like maybe make a beach, maybe make this summer vacation. I know you wouldn't get R2-D2 and these guys in here, but I feel like this is just really random, how you just get this sand build from summer vacation and everything around it is winter. I feel like they should have went with a specific season, I guess. Either go with the summer vacation or the Christmas all the way. However, these micro builds kind of do work, I guess, even though they're meant for sand. But I understand why Hoth is in here because it's winter themed, you know? And yeah, overall, this was a pretty good advent calendar. I liked it a lot. A lot of the minifigures are going to be really useful for customs and stuff. And a lot of really cool miniature builds that I really like a lot. And yeah, that is going to be it for my rating of the Star Wars Advent Calendar. If I could rate it on a number scale, probably would be maybe a 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's not the best though, like I said. So yeah, anyway, of course, have yourself a good Christmas Eve, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my Christmas haul. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, and I'll see you guys later.